It smoldered for weeks.
This is terrifying.
Then erupted into the biggest fire in Colorado's history.
It looks like hell on earth.
Smoke filled skies, entire towns evacuated.
Once we get one place evacuated, we're running out of there to go to the next one.
Now we're left with the aftermath of the Cameron Peak fire.
We watched everything burn.
Burned forests, deadly flash floods, water sources filled with ash.
The after effects of the fires sometimes are the worst parts.
Front Range communities confronted with a new reality, and mountain towns still rebuilding.
The community all along the Poudre, we are a very tight community.
This is a CBS4 special report, Scarred: Lessons from the Cameron Peak Fire. It was the largest fire in Colorado's history, and it all started on this very peak right behind me. Now we're taking a look at the lasting impacts of the Cameron Peak fire and the lessons we can learn from the historic blaze. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dylan Thomas. This week marks 1 year since last year's late season wildfires forced thousands to flee Estes Park. Most Coloradans can't forget these dramatic scenes from last October when clouds of smoke from the two largest wildfires in state history cast an eerie glow and sent ash falling from the sky.
Driving to Estes, and it's 2:38, and it's pitch black out.
The town of Estes Park declared an emergency as the East Troublesome fire moved in quickly from the west, bringing that thick haze with it. And the Cameron Peak fire threatened to cut off Highway 34, one of the town's primary exits. Here's a look at how the fire progressed. It was first reported on August 13th, but between September 4th and September 7th, the fire grew more than 78,000 acres. A second critical growth period happened in mid-October. Winds topped 70 miles per hour, fueling the fire's growth more than 68,000 acres to the east in just 3 days. On October 14th, the fire became the largest in state history, and by the 18th, it was the first in our state to burn more than 200,000 acres. On October 23rd, the town of Estes Park declared an emergency, forcing residents to then evacuate. But just a day later, a winter storm significantly slowed the fire's progress. The fire was finally declared 100% contained on December 2nd, after burning more than 112 days. The exact cause of the fire is still under investigation. While the Cameron Peak fire burned out months ago, we are now living with the lasting impacts, and will be for years to come. Those impacts turned deadly earlier this year in the Poudre River Valley, when heavy rain hit the burn scar. The Poudre River is Colorado's one and only nationally designated wild and scenic river. It's a stunning river to live and play along, but when the Cameron Peak fire scorched thousands of acres in the canyon last fall, residents had to evacuate. And this year, they had to evacuate for an entirely different problem: rain. Flash flooding in July was so powerful it carried an entire home into the river, killing 4 people. With no ground covering burn scars, there's nothing to soak up the rain.
When you have an area where nothing is there to stop it, the grass, the trees, the soil and everything, it's going to take out things.
The water was black and it was just moving so fast, and it was unlike anything I've ever seen before.
I've never ever seen a river do what this one did.
Residents aren't the only ones being drastically impacted by the after effects of the Cameron Peak fire. Rain, while much needed, oftentimes comes with unwanted consequences for local businesses.
Let's go forward, one. It's a beautiful day to go rafting.
When you sign up to go whitewater rafting, you may envision this: a day of laughter, beautiful scenery, and the clear and cool Rocky Mountain water. But now, when dropping into the Poudre River following a storm,
it's really black.
Both customers and guides can't help but to notice something is off.
It smells like ashes, especially when the waves come up. It stinks really bad.
A year after the Cameron Peak fire, the river often smells like ashes because it's filled with them.
We ended up having a flash flood event, so a lot of this debris is ash from the fire and then debris from the mudslides getting washed into the river. It's almost not whitewater rafting, it's blackwater rafting.
Right away knew it was going to be devastating for the canyon.
For mountain whitewater owner Brad Modisett,
having dealt with other fires before, the after effects of the fires sometimes are the worst parts for our business.
Each time it rains, both the Poudre and the Big Thompson Canyons are at risk of landslides and flooding along the burn scar. In July, a landslide killed 4, forcing the Poudre Canyon and businesses to shut down.
We just can't go up, which obviously makes business pretty hard.
Oh, it's crushing. We have 100 days to make money, so we had to cancel 120 people a day. We have 74 employees that were not working all of a sudden.
It can have a large impact on that next paycheck.
There's a lot of places that employ people that were really impacted.
The fire last year was pretty devastating, and we're starting to see the true impact of what's to come after.
The Cameron Peak Fire burned between Rocky Mountain National Park, the Big Thompson Canyon, and the Poudre Canyon.
It just was so quick and violent when it came.
Elkhorn Fly Shop owner Dan McGann, who normally teaches people how to fish, now finds his business on the hook.
The last couple of weeks have been pretty tough. Our permits are for the Poudre, Thompson, and Rocky Mountain National Park, so we were kind of in the triangle of terror, as we've been calling it.
For weeks this summer, because of landslides and flooding,
It looked like oil sludge.
both canyons were either closed or unfishable.
Most people do not realize this was caused by the fire last year.
It's dark, the dark water. It's unfishable strictly because you can't see anything, like the clarity's gone.
And in some cases, so too are the fish, suffocated by sediment.
A lot of people are canceling trips. Now every time it rains, we're gonna have to worry about it happening again. This isn't something that just goes away. I mean, trying to battle Mother Nature, that's a losing battle, you know. She's always gonna win, and she's showing her power right now.
For McGann, this means trying to offset lost guide revenue with greater bait and rod sales for lake fishing.
Right now, all we can do is ride it out and try and stay positive.
As for those riding the river,
It's a pretty incredible thing to be rafting in, though.
Mountain Whitewater created their own outdoor bar area, hoping to offset lost river revenue with their own steady stream of cash.
We needed some sort of income that wasn't so weather related.
As the murky waters clear with time,
I feel very grateful and fortunate that I'm able to keep doing what I love to do.
so too does the fear of the future. And no matter how rapid it may be, those working the rivers are along for the ride.
Being a whitewater rafting owner is a lesson in resilience. Dealt with drought, high water, floods, you name it. We have to deal with Mother Nature and accept that that's going to happen. Go with the flow, I guess.
The Poudre River supports local businesses, and it also supports a diverse ecosystem. But with those muddy waters you just saw, it makes it a very tough environment to live in. A year after the Cameron Peak Fire, and months after a fatal landslide plagued the Poudre River with sediment and debris, for the first time, Parks and Wildlife officers have confirmed their fears.
The runoff events that we saw this summer post-fire have had a detrimental impact on the fishery.
Every year, Kyle Batigi and the Parks and Wildlife staff conduct standardized electrofishing surveys. Using charged rods, they temporarily stun the fish, allowing them to collect each fish along a stretch of the river for counting.
This year in particular, we're able to monitor impacts from the post-runoff from the Cameron Peak Fire.
Kelly Flats is a stretch of the Poudre just downstream from July's tragic landslide.
Last year we caught 200 or so fish.
But in 2021,
we caught 0 trout.
Not a single fish was found in the river near the landslide, even months after it happened.
Not seeing any fish at Kelly Flats was certainly a bit startling. I mean, that's a pretty significant loss.
The fish were likely killed by landslides and flooding.
There was a lot of debris and a lot of just sediment and ash that came down the river, likely starving fish of oxygen.
While saddened by the lack of population downstream, upstream from the landslide were greater signs of hope.
The good news is there are still fish in the Poudre River.
Just a mile above the landslide, dozens of trout were caught.
Brown trout,
measured,
282,
weighed, and then released, while still less than in years past.
There's still fish.
Fish which will ultimately help repopulate the Poudre in the years to come.
So there's fish here that will eventually filter downstream and reseed lower population.
Now, with stats in hand, Parks and Wildlife will weigh their options. Either let the river bounce back on its own, or try and shock the system by stocking the river with fish.
But it will come back with time. It's hard to say how long those impacts will be.
From the Continental Divide all the way down to the farming plains in Greeley, the Poudre River stretches more than 126 miles, and it provides drinking and irrigation water for millions.
It's a huge drinking water source. We need to be prepared for the extremes that we might not have seen before. Yeah. Hydrology is the study of how water moves from the atmosphere through the soil and into streams and rivers. Whenever a fire burns nearby, we definitely pay attention.
Shrouded by charred trees and the forest that used to be, a set of tools that miraculously survived the Cameron Peak fire give hydrologists like Stephanie Kampf
This measures the temperature and the humidity.
a glimpse into the heart of the historic blaze
50.16.
and the ripples it will leave in the watershed for years to come. Kampf, a hydrologist with Colorado State University, now scales the scathed mountainsides, testing brooks for turbidity.
But you can see that it's filled up,
which is cloudiness in the watershed caused by soot and sediment from the Cameron Peak fire.
Fires are a big deal for water because they affect, in particular, water quality.
Most of the watershed along the 208,000-acre burn scar flows into the Poudre River.
And so after fires, we tend to get buildup of sediment that will come down into streams right in the watersheds that provide our source water, our drinking water supply.
By sampling the flow rate and turbidity above the Poudre River, hydrologists can better understand the landscape's inability to absorb snowmelt and rain and what causes flooding.
Over 1 million people get their water supply from the Poudre River that has been impacted from the Cameron Peak fire.
At the mouth of the Poudre Canyon,
every time we have a rain event, you're watching turbidity go up, sediment load go up, TOC go up.
That creates increased treatment costs, or we have to completely turn off our diversion.
the city of Greeley is just one of 6 municipalities that relies on the Poudre for drinking water.
This fire is massive in size. It impacted every one of our high mountain reservoirs.
Water treatment manager Andrew Cabot has already had to shut off Greeley's intake due to turbidity.
We have done that 3 times this season so far. It's reacting with all the hardness that's in the sample.
After heavy rainstorms, the levels of toxins in the Poudre do not mix well with the price to treat it.
So if we didn't switch sources, we may have to slow our plant down just to treat the sediment load because it's going to be pretty heavy.
If any more of our watershed burned, that would definitely be a big issue for us.
Greeley's Water Resources Operation Manager says they had to strike an emergency deal to pull water from a reservoir during recent flooding.
Water that they have in Horsetooth Reservoir, we're able to trade and give them water directly from the Poudre River. So the water in Horsetooth Reservoir is going to be cleaner.
Around 90% of the burn scar falls in national forest land. With a small budget and a huge demand, Greeley stepped up and helped secure funding for mulching along the canyon, hoping to expedite a fraction of the recovery.
It's an incredibly expensive project. We're looking at over 10,000 acres that need to be mitigated at over $40 million.
Because the Cameron Peak fire was so large,
I'm going to guess we're going to see the impacts of the Cameron Peak fire for roughly 10 years.
In that time, quite literally rising from the ashes are blossoming signs of new life. But as researchers study the watershed and the surrounding landscape, some say we must realize we can no longer just go with the flow.
We need to be prepared for the extremes that we might not have seen before.
So is this just the beginning?
This is just the beginning.
A historic fire set up by historic conditions. Coming up, we'll speak with meteorologist Lauren Whitney about the perfect storm that allowed the Cameron Peak fire to thrive. The size of the Cameron Peak fire and how long it was able to burn was born out of an increasingly concerning combination: terrible drought, warm temperatures extending our fire season, and forests full of fuel. Meteorologist Lauren Whitney joining us now to talk about these issues. And let's go ahead and start off with the drought. We're seeing that continue to increase here in Colorado.
Yeah, and really the western United States, we are seeing just exceptional and extreme drought almost become the norm in terms of our drought across Colorado, especially the western side and parts of the high country. So the moisture flow doesn't really favor them until monsoon season, and we tend to have really intense drought now more and more, and it doesn't really go away until the winter.
And kind of piggybacking off of that is the drier and drier, warmer weather coming our way. We're starting to see that more and more, right?
Yeah, exactly. Our summer heat is becoming a real thing around here. You used to always have people say, oh, you know, we never hit the 90s, we never hit the triple digits. That is very normal for us now. Let's take a look at this graphic here. This shows you the warmest summers in Denver history. The top 3 have come in the last 10 years. 2021 summer coming in 3rd place, 2012 at 1st place. So just looking back again, it's just been so insane, the heat that we've been having and how long it lasts. I mean, we're talking 90-degree temperatures close to October now.
And we're seeing that trending upward and no insight as to when it might be coming back down, right?
Exactly. So we're starting to cool off, but going back to September was one of our hottest months that we've had in a long time. If we look at this graphic too, you'll see that this is showing us the September record highs in Denver. So these are the daily record highs. These have been recorded since the year 2000. You'll see that takes up almost the entire map. 20 of those days, 20 of the 30 days have come since 2000, and 18 of those days of the 20 days have been recorded since 2010. And then looking at this graphic, it's a little bit more startling. 13 of those 20 days have been since 2017. So we're talking extreme heat in a very short period of time. September used to be, oh, we're putting our sweaters on and going up and looking at the fall colors, and now we're still in almost in the triple digits.
And one thing we're seeing as well is with those higher and higher temperatures is also increased opportunities for flash flooding. It's kind of a double negative. Hot temperatures, but also flash floods.
Exactly. And when you have those burn scars from all of the fires that we're seeing, flash flooding is a huge issue. And obviously we know about what's happened in the Grizzly Creek burn scar area near Glenwood Springs. So you get this water that flows over the area. There's nothing to trap the debris. And then we get this insane flash flooding. And you only need about a 1/4 inch of rain to see that flash flooding take place. And then when it happens repeatedly in an area like it did near Glenwood Springs this summer, then you have all of these issues and there's nothing to block any of that debris that just keeps coming down. It's a problem in California as well with their mudslides. So for us, it's a huge issue, and it's going to take a long-term plan to figure out how to fix some of these areas.
Definitely a plan that we're going to have to see evolve as time continues. Lauren, thank you so much. High temperatures and drought create conditions in which fires can easily start, but what allows them to spread is the readily available fuel. The Forest Service tells us a main concern is what is called overstocking. They say human activity over the past century, including the suppression of wildfires, has actually contributed to our forests having an abundance of fuel. When forests are overstocked and a fire starts, there's plenty to burn.
By putting out all fires and capturing fires small, it's led to more growth, more overstocking within national forests or forests as a whole across the collective western United States.
Now, the priority is to counteract overstocking through mitigation efforts, including thinning forests, clearing out excessive brush and dead trees, and doing prescribed burns. The Canyon Lakes Ranger District shared these photos from a recent burn in the Roosevelt National Forest in northern Colorado. Controlled burns have taken place for decades across our state, and they help maintain the health of our forests. Another critical element contributing to our fires is increased human interaction with our forests. More people are getting outdoors, which means a higher chance of those people starting fires. The Forest Service says the impact humans have on our forests cannot be emphasized enough. Up next, we'll learn more about successful fuel mitigation from the people responsible for those efforts in Rocky Mountain National Park. And tag along while crews get to work repairing the miles of trails damaged by the Cameron Peak fire to keep Coloradans safe in their favorite outdoor spots. The Cameron Peak fire did make its way into Rocky Mountain National Park. About 30,000 acres were ultimately impacted between the Cameron Peak and East Troublesome fires. That's about 10% of the entire park. We had the opportunity to get a tour inside Rocky Mountain National Park to learn more about their efforts to prepare the park to be able to withstand wildfires. The park has a long-term fuels treatment management plan that was in place long before the Cameron Peak fire. In a sense, they say they'd already been fighting the Cameron Peak Fire for 20 years before it even started.
What we're doing isn't changing because our master fuels plan is hitting the right spots. We have a long way to go, though.
On this fuels map, the red indicates where the fire burned and the yellow indicates where fuel mitigation had been done. The park says those treatments, clearing out dead trees and doing prescribed burns, created pockets of the park where the fire did not have an easy path to progress. The Cameron Peak Fire touched both the Arapahoe and the Roosevelt National Forest, where most of the trails, like this one here, were built in the 1930s by the Colorado Conservation Corps. And while the trails have proved the test of time, they weren't designed to withstand the state's largest fire ever. Now, with limited funding and manpower, the Forest Service has to rely on volunteers to help restore the devastated trail system.
It's still a beautiful piece of nature up here. It's just been impacted by the fire.
Just a year ago, more than 200,000 acres of Colorado's outdoor oasis went up in smoke.
It was almost apocalyptic, seeing the blood red skies in the morning and ash raining down and pine needles.
Pine needles from thousands of trees left toppled across trails, making them impassable.
It burned the trees, and a lot of the trees, when it burned, it also burned some of the ground structure underneath, which causes some water to damage the rest of the trail.
Damage that, if not addressed,
all right, let's find a couple pieces of equipment to take up, guys.
Would shutter hundreds of miles of pathways through Serenity.
We'll do single file.
Years ago, the Forest Service was depleted.
Right now, I think there's 2 actual wilderness rangers that are left on the district.
Leaving cleanup and reclamation of the beloved trails.
That might work.
To Bob Manuel and the Poudre Wilderness Volunteers. Seemingly every weekend this summer.
This is a really kind of a nasty one.
Dozens of volunteers made the trek up a new path, clearing thousands of trees.
There we go. That's what I'm after.
And restructuring dangerously faulty trails.
Fire loosens up the rocks. It heats the ground on the rocks and it heats the ground around the rocks, and then you'll get rocks that slough off. It's pretty much a tragedy if you think how beautiful this trail was prior to the fire and what it is now.
The extent of it is, almost unimaginable.
Just 1 year ago,
we watched everything burn and all of our favorite trails and whatnot burn.
Volunteers watched, knowing they would have to give back to the land they love.
After a year like last year, they need as much help as they can get.
Even just being out here for a couple hours, I have a whole new appreciation for what goes into trail maintenance and just the things that I take for granted, and that everyone who visits Colorado and lives in Colorado don't necessarily see all of the work, all of the engineering planning that goes into just having a trail, and that's without a massive fire ripping through.
For years to come,
we're just about done.
Remnants will remind of the devastation the Cameron Peak Fire left behind.
But this is a little different when the ash is still fresh and you can still, you touch the trees and it rubs off on you.
Thanks to the volunteers of today.
We try to make sure that it's going to withstand the test of time also.
Generations of the future will get to fall in love with this sloping serenity. Following the dirt path, twisting and turning along the scarred mountainside, every cleared and restored mile of trail unveils promise of new life.
We hope this is a 1 in 1,000 year type of thing, but with climate change the way it's going, we never know what's going to happen.
Still ahead, the ongoing effort to learn from the Cameron Peak Fire. The Cameron Peak Fire was just one of 3 fires last year to climb to the top of the list of the largest fires in Colorado history. That fact, combined with drought, climate change, and a forest filled with dead trees, has many wondering what this means for our state moving forward. Researchers will be trying to answer that question for years to come, studying everything from how our forests and wildlife recover from the Cameron Peak Fire to the long-term impact on businesses and communities. In the meantime, Coloradans are already finding ways to support the landscape, recreate responsibly, and care for their communities. Thank you for joining us for this special report, Scarred: Lessons from the Cameron Peak Fire. I'm Dylan Thomas, covering Colorado First.